I feel like the more solo leveling goes on, the more I get interested in what is happening in solo leveling. I still do have my issue with it, which I'll get into way later in the video, but I might as well just go into him being the walking definition of the anti-hero.
I say that cause I dimples. Alexis must know voodoo. She still out on my mental.
Like, comment, subscribe, it helps. But one of the main things that put him in this driver's seat to be this big anti-hero is just the system itself. The system putting him in different situations where he has to even test his morality, or what would I actually do in a situation that is quite literally insanity for his level. But with me being abundantly clear, we might as well just go to Google and get the exact definition itself with some of the characteristics that are taking place. Like, for example, the first one we'll go over is Flawed. Anti-heroes are complex characters with both good and bad qualities, which the first one being a pretty easy one. You can see the good and bad qualities in tnjugo, whether it be the good stuff of him saving people that are really weak or weaker, that are in a bad situation or a bad spot, because he can't stand seeing like weak people get like hurt or killed. But then there's him also getting used to killing, and him even enjoying it at the very start of it. He's like, maybe it's something I can get used to and at the same time be fine with doing. But moving on to the next one, self-serving. They may prioritize their own needs over others. Now walk with me here. In the beginning of season 2, where we do see him choose to take a weaker group with him and then leave the other group of people to fend for themselves, and knowing that they're in a really bad situation and knowing that they could possibly die with that group of people, he chooses not to go with everyone as a whole and sort of expose, hey, I'm an S rank type of guy, it should be all easy for me, let me just, protect everyone, I guess. He just lets the other group of people go, a whole group of people die. Then we have this other guy that wants to kill him for basically just letting the other people die, as well as him almost dying himself, just for tnjugo to take this man, kill him, then revive him back with necromancy and force him into enslavement of the system and being in his party forcefully for the rest of his life. Holy fucking shit. And honestly, that was a bit of a double dipper, because it's not only self-serving, it's also something else that's on the list, immoral. They may make questionable life decisions. That is extremely questionable. But if I want to go a little bit more farther and then sort of say any other questionable life decisions he's making, is either like a 50-50 with this one, right? Because he also has something where he's hiding the fact that he's like an S rank guy for most of the time until like season 2 or the later half of season 2, and that could either go positively or negatively, right? Because he could just be hiding the fact of, oh, I'm a actual S rank guy instead of an E rank or the lowest rank that's possibly there, and help out others like that group that he chose to let basically die. But I completely understand why you would want to conceal the identity of an S rank for a multitude of reasons, whether it be people chasing you down to try to get you into an organization, or other people sort of abusing and using you for your power, and seeing how far people will really go, saying like, oh my goodness, this guy has so much immense power, I'll just let him do all of the work, or he can just be a headliner for any of my company, or the case may be. But I'll be honest with the next two. I hit a completely dead wall, which is socially awkward. They may have difficult relating to others. To be honest, he just does that on his own. He really doesn't care for talking to other people unless he cares to talk to you, know what I mean? He doesn't really put any effort unless he sees a reason to put effort into it. Then there's also just the fact of self-destructive. They may feel rejected by society and turn to self-destructive behaviors. He doesn't do that whatsoever in the show at all. He's fighting for his own survival and just for the sake of his mother, trying to find her elixir of life to make her feel better and get her out the hospital. But shit, 2 out of 3, I'll take it. I think I made a point with 2 out of 3. Fuck that shit. I'll take my little cookies and I'll go back into my room. But now that's out the way, I want to get into the show itself. This season so far has been pretty fucking good, making me be very interested in what we have forward to looking to anything in the terms of solo leveling, whether it be more characters or the character development of other people that I've been kind of waiting for, because I understand the title of the show is called solo leveling, but I want to be interested in a lot more other characters than the main character himself. I feel like that was one of my biggest gripes when it came to season 1, but so far I'm really interested in the other S rank members. I do want to still have more development in them, but the person I have my eyes on the most, even though he hasn't had that much screen time at all, is his father. His own father is actually an S rank hunter himself. Sung-Wan, I believe is how you say his name. He himself is extremely interesting. We're not only taking out another S-rank hunter, but speaking of calamity that is soon to come, and even though he's extremely strong, him still saying, oh my god, we should probably prepare for what's coming next, has me pretty fucking hyped to see what is gonna happen. If we need all the S-rank hunters to come in together to stop this calamity, or even is Sung Jin-woo is even thinking about doing this at all, or if he saw his own father, which he hasn't seen in years, obviously, because he's an anime protagonist. But I wanted to know the reaction that would come when we eventually have these two characters collide and meet. With me also having somewhat of a small interest, but not too interested enough, is what the talks about the island. This island that they've been talking about since season 1, where these creatures are evolving and how much dangerous it was already before, with multiple other S-rank members coming in and still not being able to stop any of these monsters. I feel like this show definitely knows how to make a vibe out of itself and really pull up all the hype parts when it really wants to. Just with the shining examples of the Rise part, or the part where he actually turns a whole human into one of his slaves into the system. But in the same breath, it feels like we have a lot to chew on, and I feel like the story is trying to digest everything that we're chewing on and trying to explain everything, but it's taking a long time to do so. But I'm feeling a little bit like a slow burn-ish at times, but I feel like I've had a lot better slow burns from other shows, but this is still good nonetheless. Then there's also just the system itself. What did it do to Sung Jin-woo? Did it actually turn Sung Jin-woo into a player and everyone else is basically kind of NPCs? Or my running theory is that it turns Sung Jin-woo into an actual, or is turning him into an actual beast, or turning him into something that isn't per se human anymore, but not too far from beast. Almost as similar, akin, or connected to his father, because his father himself is also being said to be a beast, even though he looks and seems to be pretty human to me, but no one actually believes that. And if Sung Jin-woo is left unchecked, can easily be the apex predator of everything that is going on. But I still highly suggest solo leveling as the season's going down. I feel like it's getting better and better. But other than that, if you guys want to chop up in the comments, do it there. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.